For Cowboys coach Brian Schottenheimer, the Cowboys defense, from a scheme standpoint, is set up just fine. It is the third iteration of a Cowboys defense in the past 3 years, as the team has gone from coordinator Dan Quinn to Mike Zimmer to, now, returning former coach Matt Eberflus running the D. But given how poorly the team has played defense to this point, allowing 30.7 points per game, 27th in the league, in the first 3 weeks, there are reasons for alarm bells to be ringing. It's no fluke that teams have piled on the points, as Dallas has given up 397.7 yards per game, which is 30th in the NFL. The problem is that it is not just fans and media who are having their doubts about this defense. As coach Brian Schottenheimer said, it's players too. "I don't have any reason why not," Schottenheimer told reporters on Monday. "I think when you're not playing well, there's gonna always be doubts. Confidence in this league is interesting because it comes and goes fast when you're playing in such a competitive league. I don't think it will take long for us to get the confidence back, but I would understand why guys might be like, oh, what about this? What about that?" Cowboys making changes. The notion of playing a simpler defensive scheme has been raised, and it could be that Eberflus's defense will have to be streamlined. The team has had more than a month of training camp and now 3 weeks of games to get it right, but there is not much indication it's sinking in with players. "I feel like every week it's something new you see until you see everything, and then it's like, all right, this is all that they got," Trayvon Diggs said. "We've just got to get adjusted to it. Whatever is called, we have to play it. We have to execute the calls. We have to get off the field on third down. We have to eliminate the big plays." Diggs did express some confidence that it would turn around. "We're going to get it," he said. "We're going to get it right. I have faith in all these guys. All of them. D-line, linebackers, DBs. We've been doing it in the past. We've just got to put it on display." Pass rush, a major problem for defense. But the question is, when? It won't do the Cowboys much good to get it in Week 10 if they're sitting with a 3-7 record at that point. It's not just that the Cowboys' defense has struggled to stop teams. In the past 2 weeks, they have not been able to stop teams that have been struggling offensively otherwise. They gave up 37 points to a Giants team that has scored 15 total points in its other 2 games. The Bears have been somewhat better offensively, with 45 points in their other 2 games. But the Cowboys did not sack Caleb Williams at all. The first time in his career, he was not brought down. Cowboys getting hurt by big plays. Schottenheimer said there is a plan in place for changes, though he was not specific on what those changes will be. But the Cowboys have a penchant for getting gashed by big plays. Limiting those would be a good start. "We're not giving up 16-, 17-, 18-yard explosives," Schottenheimer said. "We're giving up 35 and 40 and 45, and at the end of the day, that's not good enough, man. Had good meetings. We talked through things. We're changing up things." For the entirety of the first 4 years of his NFL career, when recent Packers star acquisition Micah Parsons needed to bend someone's ear on the challenges of playing a high-profile position for arguably the most high-profile franchise in all of American sports, he knew who he could turn to: Cowboys quarterback and teammate Dak Prescott. On Sunday, for weeks after he was traded from Dallas to Green Bay, Parsons will have the eerie experience of lining up as a visiting player in his old home stadium, facing his old team while he's still getting accustomed to his new one. And he will be tasked with the job of hitting his old friend Prescott, and hitting him hard. Speaking to the Associated Press this week, Parsons said of sacking Prescott, "It's going to be painful. That's my guy. He was always like a good mentor for me. But you know how it is. He always told me if I ever faced him that it'll be a great matchup, so I'm excited to see what Sunday brings itself." Packers. Cowboys eager for a win. The game will be played on national TV on Sunday night, and while there will be ample emotion on both sides, the challenge will be keeping focus on getting the win. The Packers found themselves a bit too wrapped in their own hype after winning their first 2 games, and went into Cleveland in Week 3 and laid an egg, losing a mistake-packed game to the Browns, 13-10. The Cowboys are off to a 1-2 start, and after good showings in Week 1, narrow loss to the Eagles, and Week 2 win over the Giants, they were knocked around by the Bears in Chicago in Week 3, 31-14. They're itching to get back on the field just as much as Green Bay is. Micah Parsons accepted my fate after trade. For Parsons, the goal is to put the emotions aside and simply try to win a football game. He was traded on August 28th for 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark and has gone through the mental processing that upheaval required. Parsons then signed a 4-year, $188 million contract with the Packers, with $136 million guaranteed, setting a non-quarterback record in the NFL. The presence of Prescott notwithstanding, Parsons said he will do his best to treat the Cowboys game as one of 17. "I accepted my fate weeks ago when the trade happened," Parsons said. "So for me, it's just all about playing another game and just doing what I do best, and that's just be a disruptive football player. I think the media and the fans are trying to blow it up to be such a big thing. But I just look at it as just another game at AT&T." Jerry Jones should be getting on the phone to thank the Houston Texans for the gift they just gave them. With the shocking news of defensive back C.J. Gardner-Johnson's release, hat tip at Rap Sheet, the door is wide open for the Dallas Cowboys to make a move. The Texans chose to part ways with the 27-year-old after just 3 weeks into the season. Although that usually spells red flags, the Cowboys would be foolish not to make a run at him, given their glaring needs in the secondary. Cowboys must make a run at DB C.J. Gardner-Johnson. The Cowboys' defensive back situation is far from impressive. Gardner-Johnson would be an improvement over both incumbent starters, Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker, and it isn't as if depth names like Marquise Bell and Wanya Thomas are much better. Meanwhile, the Cowboys are still navigating cornerback Darren Bland's absence, while Trayvon Diggs hasn't exactly looked much like his old self. Defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus' unit has given up 92 points in the first 3 weeks of the season, and the Cowboys also rank dead last in passing yards given up per game at a whopping 288.0. They can't stop the pass and give up big play after big play. On top of being a former Super Bowl champion who's just 27 years old and has a strong track record, Gardner-Johnson would give the Cowboys the type of versatile DB they could deploy all over the secondary due to his experience as a safety and cornerback. More than that, he's also quite familiar with the NFC East and its playmakers. He played for the Philadelphia Eagles twice before being sent to the AFC South in exchange for guard Kenyon Green this offseason. Gardner-Johnson's character could be an issue. As exciting as a signing would be for America's team, the former Super Bowl champion also comes with some baggage. He made some incendiary comments after his trade from the Eagles, and NFL insider Aaron Wilson revealed that he was also becoming a distraction in the locker room in Houston. Among the issues Texans experienced behind the scenes with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, per sources, he was critical of teammates in the secondary and didn't like his role. It was a locker room issue, and ultimately, this just wasn't a good fit for the team and for a talented player, Wilson reported. The Cowboys' defensive coordinator doesn't call blitzes as often, and unless they can reach some sort of compromise, he might not be much happier with his role in Arlington. Still, if Gardner-Johnson can put that desire for more blitzes to the side, joining Dallas could be a mutually beneficial decision that gets his career back on track.